Let's introduce the interview. This was fun. Salomon from Night Fever. What a tidy little sit down we have with him. Yes.
Yeah, I've really been into this latest contributions from them, made me get into their back catalog. They are so consistent and so good. And it was so interesting to get Solomon's insights on everything from, live shows to the crazy things that have happened to them to
great stories. This is a pretty obscure band, but you really need to check them out. This is quality stuff here. I can't imagine anybody who watches this show would not love Night Fever. Just, you got to check it out.
Okay. And they're the real deal. They're the do-it-yourselfers. They're out there doing their own thing and doing it well. So you can't ask for any more than that.
So take it away. Well, thanks for doing this. I was thrilled to see you guys have new music coming out. It's been a while.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been a while. We got caught up in COVID, and we're just very slow.
Well, sometimes good things take time, right?
Yeah, I'm doing all the riffs and music and lyrics and shit, but I'd rather not do any filler songs. So you try to use a decent amount of time to make the songs like at least somewhat memorable or something like that.
Start off with the obvious. The name Night Fever, where did it come from, and how often are you confused with Saturday Night Fever?
The name Night Fever, I think it came from, we couldn't figure out a name for it, and our old bassist, he was just like, what about Night Fever? And we had like a week or 2 weeks or something before we had to play our first show. And then Lasse, who played in Hjertestop, and the guy who recorded our new record, he was doing the show, and he was just like, fuck it, your name is Night Fever, you can always change it. And then we're like, oh, whatever, man. But yeah, it's not the best thing about the band.
Yeah, because Googling your name is tough. You get a lot of a lot of BGs come up.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hopefully you don't get any disgruntled disco fans going, this isn't the Bee Gees cover band.
This album doesn't sound anything like I was expecting.
There was actually a nightclub here in Copenhagen, which was called Night Fever. Okay. So retarded people, they would write our Facebook page thinking that it was the club. They'll be like, hey, what time do you open? And I forgot my jacket last night and shit like that.
Yeah. Like you don't have enough to worry about already.
So you got your start super early, 13, and I'm going to kill the name of the band. How do you say it? Arigged Antrack?
That's pretty close. But yeah, it was actually not our first band. We had our first band when I was 11. I played bass. It was called United Wankers.
Oh, okay.
It was the logo was it was pretty good. It was a white dick and a black dick on a cross, and they were simultaneously jerking each other off. It was great. But yeah, that was a long time ago.
Do you remember what your impressions were like? Like, all right, I mean, did you were just a group of friends that got together, or did
actually it was I started out in with metal when I was very young. I was like 6 years old. I got the Countdown to Extinction record from my brother, and I just went on from there. So I listened to D-Side and shit like that before I even listened to punk. But one of the old bassist, Andreas, he also played in the other band, and our guitarist in the band now in Night Fever, he also played in Idenside. We all went to school together from the first grade, actually. Oh. But the new bassist in Night Fever, he's called Casper, and he is Andreas' brother, and he used to play in a bunch of other Danish bands, Hull, No Hope for the Kids, Death Token, all kinds of bands. But he got us into punk because he was he started getting into punk, and we just followed. It was crazy. He was wearing like skirts and mohawks and shit like that. We just thought that this looks crazy. We want to be part of something like that.
What happened to Death Token? All Dreams Are Nightmares was so great, and then I never heard
so great. I don't know. It just they just went into oblivion, I guess.
Mhm. I hate
But it
when
was
that
a
happens.
great band. It was such a good band live, and such a good record.
Yeah,
We played with them a bunch of times. Really good band.
really.
So I was curious because it's listed as K-Town in Denmark. What does that encompass, or what is that short for?
It's just short for Copenhagen is spelled with a K in Denmark.
Ah,
So that's what it is. So it's just Copenhagen hardcore.
so I love the NF kind of like, and how you have it like mirror image.
Oh yeah, the logo.
Yeah, who came
Oh
up with
yeah.
that?
That was actually our old bassist came up
Okay.
with that. Yeah, we're trying to do a single off the new record, or it's actually just gonna be that as the
Oh,
single.
You guys have such great merch. You got to put that one on a guitar pick if you haven't done it already. But
Yeah, I think the next thing we're gonna do is some shorts or something.
Yeah,
Then we'll probably put the logo on them.
that's cool. That's cool. I wanted to ask you that movie sample that starts off "Fuck Your PMA." What movie is that from? Do you know?
Oh, that's from it's called Diner or something. What the fuck is that movie called? It's an 80s movie.
Oh, it must be
with-
Diner. Yeah, that's based in Baltimore. Yeah, Diner.
Yeah,
That's
is
what we
it?
are. We know Diner.
Oh yeah,
already.
yeah.
Did
It's
you
a
ever
really
get?
good movie.
Did you get any letters from lawyers telling you you're not allowed to use a sample or anything?
No, I think it's so unknown, this band. Like they haven't heard. And
I
I
would always
think,
think that, and then I'd be like, yeah, the one time that I actually do, I'll end up getting sued by
yeah.
Kraft
But we
Corporation.
actually wanted to use some from there's like this sample we wanted to use from Death Wish 4,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's such a good sample, but we didn't use it anyways because of that,
Yeah.
But I think that the sample is the sample from Diner is not on any of the things on the internet, YouTube and shit.
Okay.
So I guess they'll have a much more hard time finding it. I guess.
Yeah. It used to be okay to use samples. Remember in the '90s, all the bands were doing like Grief and
Yeah.
I Hate God, and they would it was like free reign, and then all of a sudden, I guess the lawyers clamped down and
But
don't
it's like
anymore.
it's really hard to get into the specifics about the laws about that because you hear like 10 different things. I mean, last thing I heard was that I think it's if the sample is less than 5 or 10 seconds, you can use it.
Right.
But if you do, you got to pay, or you can get around it by like cutting into it, like when you in the mixing process or something. It's
so complicated. You just are like, the hell with it,
But we were just like, yeah, fuck it. We don't want to take a chance.
I don't need that. Yeah. So also my favorite, I guess, one of my favorite Night Fever songs is Denied. And I always want to know, why did you list it as untitled on the Transparent EP?
I think it's because I couldn't figure out what to call it. And we were just we're so
went down to the
slow.
wire, I guess, and it was like, what's the name of the song? You're like, oh, just call it Untitled.
Yeah. I think I didn't send the mail where it's like the track listing or something. I don't know. It was a hazy time.
It was a hazy time. Yeah. You had the artwork, you had the music, but just needed one more title. Yeah. Question for you also is one of the things that's so unique about you guys is raging hardcore does not usually have metal guitar leads, and you guys have some of the best. So
thanks.
Who came up with that? Like I liked you guys from the very beginning because you have guitar solos. Like I like both. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all grew up with Judas Priest and shit like that. Yeah. So I guess it came naturally. But like we have two guitarists, and they're both metalheads and love hardcore. So I guess it just came naturally. But I mean, it's also our inspirations are like, also bands that have, furious guitar solos, like, Poison Idea and Raw Power and stuff like that. So
I mean, even that first Circle Jerks album has such great guitar solos.
Yeah.
I mean, and it sounds like they just threw it off, and group sex. It just sounds like they just did it in one take, but
I think it
holds up so well. I mean,
But I think they're also such talented guitarists that what they make it sound easy.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. You can't just crank that shit out. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I've loved the two new singles, and I love how like the Killing Fields, which starts out, it draws you in with that drum, and then Rot draws you in with that guitar immediately. So I love. Do you really take a lot of time with the intros or outros, or just kind of organic?
Yeah, actually, I do. It's kind of a battle because like most of the guys in the band, they just want the songs to start off like instantly. I really like intros, so we kind of like find a middle way.
Yeah, that's kind of a metal thing too, to have an intro. You know, it's instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's
But I love intros. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think by far my favorite merch of yours recently is the "Fuck You Master" T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Who kind of came up with that Jesus skeleton face? And I love it.
It was it's one of our new songs, which is an anti-religious song. And I was like, I worked with this guy called Will Kinzer from the States. He's an American. He lives here in Copenhagen. He was from this band called Born Dead and Red Dawns and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
He we were sitting at his place and we were just like trying to do a shirt. I'm really not good with design or layout or shit like that. So we were just looking at pictures of I was like something like Pick King or something like that, and we were just like looking at pictures of skeletons, and then we just came up with it.
That's a really great image, and I love the writing down the sleeves. You know.
Yeah.
I'd rather rot. I'm not a slave. I was like, wow, I gotta have the shirt.
Yeah.
How old were you when you did New Blood?
Woo, man,
I
don't know.
Young on that cover. I mean.
Yeah, I think I was. We started in 2007, and when is the record from? 2011 or 9? Or I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I was like 22, 21, 23. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I loved you were on that record. You would go from the high screams to that kind of Danzig kind of. Yeah, I love that. I mean, was Danzig or the Misfits something that you
I'm a big Misfits fan and a big Danzig fan and also a big Elvis fan. But yeah, we were trying to do something like that, and kind of like just do something that wasn't done. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You guys have really been a do-it-yourself band from the beginning. What do you think the upsides and downsides are for kind of taking control of everything?
I think the upsides is you can do it like how you want it. The downside is all the fucking work. And I think that's how it is. Yeah. I mean, you just got to work so hard just to make it happen. It's so much work, but it's in the end it pays off, I think, because you get it done the way you want it to.
If you had a personal assistant, what would you make them do? Like, what would their chores be first and foremost?
Everything. I have a full-time job and I have a kid, so everything. I
wanted to ask you about that. You emailed me. You emailed me that you were going to be knee deep in dead body parts or something. What did you mean?
I work at a hospital. Mm-hmm. I work as I don't know if you have it in the States, but it's called they have it in the UK. I think it's called an orderly.
Okay, yeah, we have those.
They drive patients from A to B, but my job is a bit more encompassing. I'm at the ICU every day, and I make sure that the patients there don't get bed sores.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we have to turn them on their sides and put them up in chairs with all the tubes hanging out from the throats. Yeah, and then work in the emergency room and resuscitating people and and driving bodies to the morgue and stuff like that. It's a very death metal job, and
I was gonna say,
you see some fucking crazy shit. Yeah, and the hospital is based in it's like the poorest district, so you get all these social cases, like I don't know,
like overdoses and stuff.
Yeah, also that, but just like the crazy drunkards, man. Like you'd see like a 60-year-old woman just like drinking, the disinfectant because they've grown so used to it. So they drink the disinfectant just like naked while taking a shit, stuff like that.
Oh my God. There's your next album cover right there. I mean,
Yeah. The people in the band, they're always like, why don't you just, like, if I'm struggling with lyrics or something, they're just think of the hospital. Like, yeah, but it's like I can't sing about intestines and shit like that. That's not the kind of band we are. But
So it was pretty funny. We were like first dating, and it was kind of still at the tail end of COVID. And I used to work for a restaurant, so Monday and Tuesdays were like my day off. So we went out on, like, I don't know, a Monday night, went to this bar, got, kind of a little tipsy, and then we wanted to get a taxi or an Uber home, and there just weren't any. We tried everywhere, every app, nothing. So I said, you know what? We're not far. We're going to walk. It was probably a mile and a half. I was like, let's walk.
but it was ice everywhere.
But we didn't. It was like February. There was ice, and the street light was out, and we hit this pack of black ice. He went down. I went down. He hit his head. I hit my head.
Oh, shit.
Next thing you know, they scooped us up in an ambulance. We're in the emergency room. He was like, that was the best date ever to end up in the emergency room. Yes.
Yeah. Never
That's a good
forget
story.
the nurse came up and just went, hold still, ka-chink, ka-chink, 2 staples.
Yeah.
Like, holy, no warning. Good Lord. Bedside manner.
Oh, man. What happened? You just got jumped and robbed or something?
No. We fell. We hit the black ice and just went down. I hit my head on a curb, and she went down with me. Yeah. So, and actually, I think a cop car took us to the emergency.
Yeah.
room.
So he pulled over.
I was all full of blood
because his head was bleeding, and he just put us in there and took us to the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's walking in the dark and when there's black ice,
And it was cold, cold as hell. We're feeling confident because we've had little liquid courage.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, that was a rough night.
It's a romantic story.
Yeah.
I really do think so.
Yeah. It sounds like your social media posts, the Dresden shows, have been crazy based on what we were reading. Do you have any stories about some of the more nuttier crowds?
We had some pretty nutty crowds. They're usually people get really hurt when we play. Yeah. We've had people getting picked up by helicopters, like
wow, airlift,
broke their necks, and people there's also one guy at a show. There's this one show in Copenhagen at the K-Town Festival where our guitarist Matthias, he jumped while playing, and then he hit his head on this metal bar on the ceiling.
Oh, jeez.
And then he's still suffering from that. He's had a concussion for, I don't know, it's like 10 years ago or something.
I read about that, but he finished the set.
He finished the set, and he was like bleeding profusely from the forehead. And he I think he what do you call it? He didn't break his neck, but he I don't know the word for it. Yeah, whiplash, something like that. Got whiplash. And he continued the set, and I was like vomiting because I was like hungover as fuck. Yeah, so I was like vomiting on the scene. It was crazy. Wow. But at the same show, this young kid, he after the concert, I was like trying to be nice, so I was picking up my own vomit so nobody else had to do it. And then this kid was just lying there next to us, just like laughing like crazy. And I was like, what's wrong with this dude? And he was just in shock because his knee was on the back of his legs.
Oh my God.
So he had broken his leg?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, his
dislocated?
Yeah, he dislocated his knee, so it was on the back. It was horrible to see.
That is horrible. That reminds me, I went and saw Converge the year that Jane Doe came out, right?
Yeah.
And they only played like 8 or 9 songs, and maybe 40 minutes. And then Jake Bannon goes, "We're going to have to stop the show. I just got kicked in the head and I'm seeing 3 of everything." And I just remember being like, boo, it's a Wednesday. Shake it off.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Yeah. So a little disappointing.
How was the Exit Festival in Serbia?
It was really good. It was really a lot of fun. We played there, and the people in the Balkans, they're just so grateful because there's not a lot of Scandinavian and like Northern European bands coming, as far as we can tell. So they're just like we got interviewed, and they're just by a lot of people, and they were just like, how is it to be most important hardcore band of 20 years? It's like, oh shit, like we don't think we're that. But they were so grateful, and they treated us so nice. We were actually there for 4 days. We played on the Thursday and had a horrible flight there. It was supposed to be 3 hours, but it turned into 15 hours.
Oh wow.
And so we played the show, and everybody thought it was amazing. And we saw some good bands, Cockney Rejects, Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, you saw Wu-Tang. I'm bad.
Yeah, we actually flew on the plane with Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, but it was a great festival, and hopefully we're gonna get back to the Balkans next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love how you're so intense on stage. Like I was watching some stuff on YouTube, and you kind of channel that rage into the music. Have you ever had someone come up to you and just say, hey, that was super therapeutic, that really put me in a better mind frame, it changed my depression?
Yeah, I've had some people say like that I saved their lives from, they had a depression, and they just not lyric wise. I just think it's like some state of mind, where you're just like all fucked up and on drugs and all, your life is just like shit. And then you find some common ground in it, I think. So I've had that a couple of times.
Okay, well, we play a little game. So we're going to play a game with you right now. The game is called Blaspheming Monikers, okay? So I'm going to give you 5 band names from the Metal Archives. One of them is made up. So you have to guess which one of these is fake.
Okay.
Okay? All right, here we go. Number 1, and I'll repeat these as often as you like.
Yeah.
Necropoet, 45 caliber brain surgery, goat hag, tongue-eating louse, and hellbreather.
Tongue-eating louse.
They are real. They're a sludge metal band from Ontario. They have 3 LPs, and they broke up in 2018.
Oh shit! So what was the fake name?
No. Let's just keep going. Like, take another guess. So again, it's Necropoet, 45 caliber brain surgery, goat hag, tongue-eating louse, and hellbreather.
45 caliber. What was it?
Brain surgery.
Yeah.
They're German. They have 1 album. Death metal.
Death metal?
Yep, death metal.
Yeah. Okay.
One more.
Hellbreather.
Yep, Hellbreather's a Canadian speed metal band. They split in 2020. So the one that's made up is Goat Hag. I made that one up.
Goat
Hag. I can't believe there's not a band called Goat Hag.
I was like, Goat Hag, that's a band.
That's got to be real.
Sure.
So
there's a goat whore, but no goat hag.
All right, don't feel bad. States gets all of them wrong every time we do it, so don't feel bad. We interviewed John from Black Braid, the black metal, and he got it right out of the blocks. He was like,
really?
That one. Because I think I put in there a band called the Illuminatis, and he was like, that's not real.
Illuminatis?
Yeah.
That's good.
It was razor sharp. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But we made him laugh with Ario Rape Wagon.
Oh, yeah,
It's an actual
Ario Rape Wagon.
Ario Rape Wagon. Yeah, he liked
We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why.
I don't think you could. That's not very Me Too,
No, I don't give a
All right.
So Vendetta had like a punk core with a bit of, I could definitely hear that rock and roll twist with tons of attitude. So I hear your new stuff, and it's right in that channel. So stylistically, would you say it's staying the same, moving in a different direction?
I don't know. If we're moving in a different direction, we take baby steps, I think. But it's like I think that you don't want to. I mean, I still want to play hardcore. I still want to have metal solos, but you kind of want to mix it up a bit, so it doesn't. You don't like record the same album basically.
Right.
But
no 9-minute rock operas.
We actually did a intro that was 6 minutes long or something,
No
which was
way.
which is like epic with the acoustic and the guitars and the 3 guitar solos, and I don't know, it was crazy. But it just we didn't have the time, or we thought maybe it wouldn't fit, maybe it would be too weird. But it is recorded though.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I was just kidding. Wow. Yeah.
So for in Copenhagen, I was curious, the lyrics sound so personal, where this isn't the fucking country. Was it like based on actual events or just like a series of impressions?
Yeah, it was this it was just I don't want to tell the whole story, but it was basically just the redneck. I was telling somebody to fuck off because he was being annoying. And then this redneck came up to me and he wanted to fight me. I was like, let's do it. I don't give a fuck. And then he's like, he told me that I should never show my face again in this part of the city. And I just laughed in his face. I was like, you of all people should say that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow, and you made that into a song, that altercation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've performed in Germany, Japan, US, Brazil, just to name a few. Where are the most rabid fans, do you think?
I think in Germany. Germany and Holland, I think. But we also had some crazy concerts in Brazil and some really good concerts in Japan. But like where we have a biggest turnout and where people go most crazy is it's Germany, I think.
Yeah, they're diehard. We've heard that a lot.
Oh yeah.
That Germany. I mean, just these huge metal festivals that they have there. I mean, it's they're diehard.
Do you think it was a possible chance to get you back over here in the States at some point?
Yeah, the thing is that our guitarist, he's been to jail here in Copenhagen, so he's not allowed to go back to the States.
Oh, geez.
So if we have to go to the States, we have to find a second guitarist just to fill in. I mean, it would be possible, but I don't know. We really want to do it, but it's kind of a hassle.
We'll have to talk to. We interviewed Pepe from Hate Sphere. And they're Danish. He's got a good network. Maybe I'll hook you guys up with him.
I know some of the guys from Hate Sphere. They're really nice.
Yeah, I could totally see you killing it and like Hell in the Harbor over here. We have these big festivals. So
he changes vocalists every 3 albums, so he's got a good network.
So what are your tour plans for upcoming? Do you know yet, or still working on getting the album out?
We have some upcoming shows. We have some shows next month. A show in Dresden and a show in Rotterdam with Fang and Stalag 13 and the Partisans and stuff like that.
Wow, Fang, awesome!
Fang. Yeah, we played with Fang. We played with Fang before, and it was great. But some mostly German shows, and then some. And we got a release party hopefully in November for the new record. That's great. And some shows in Stockholm and Oslo.
If you could put together like your own fantasy lineup of who you would want to play with, now these bands can be existing or not existing, who would you put together with you guys?
Oh, that's a tough one. We played with Poison Idea and it was great. So I'd love to play with them again, but I don't think they play anymore.
Wow.
And I think, man, the Dicks or the Big Boys or something. Offenders, some Austin, Texas band. One of those old ones. Yeah. I know, that's just off the top of my head.
That's awesome.
I love the Fat Elvis album from the Big Boys. That's great.
So good.
Well, this was great. I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You've definitely got fanboys here in Baltimore. You can tell.
Oh, really? I'm happy to hear it.
We've been big fans for years. Yeah, ever since I heard that album behind me, the Transparent EP, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. These solos are ripping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
love
man.
your blend, so definitely keep it coming. I can't wait for more.
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.